Hello everyone, and happy Valentine's Day. And if you're watching this past Valentine's Day, then happy whatever day it is. So, I don't really have any love-themed games to review, but in case you haven't heard, not only is it Valentine's Day, but it's also Sonic Movie Day. That's right, the long-awaited Sonic the Hedgehog movie is finally out in theaters, so go see it. But no spoilers in the comments, because as of this time, I haven't seen it. And so, to honor this occasion, we will be doing, surprise surprise, a Sonic game.
What is up with the Sonic series? It's an overall mixed bag, probably the most mixed up out of all the mixed bags. When the Blue Blur got a start in the 1990s, things were wonderful, and its future was looking pretty bright. But as time went on, Sonic games would be released that range from great, to good, to mediocre, to just plain awful. And the Sonic game in particular I'll be reviewing, which you should already know if you read the title, is a bit on the mediocre side.
So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Sonic R, which by the way, I will be playing on Sonic Gems Collection on the GameCube, which will be played on the Wii, thanks to the Wii's GameCube backwards compatibility. Why do I explain this? You guys already know this whole thing. And if you haven't, then there is a lesson in Nintendo history for you guys.
I'll start by being upfront with you guys. This game, I actually enjoyed as a kid. Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent despite many of its noticeable flaws. Looking back at it though, yeah, it's not really that superb. It's not the absolute worst game I've played, but I'd definitely pick another Sonic game over this. And another racing game for that matter. So where exactly does it fall flat? Pretty simple, the controls. They are awkward as can be. You hold up on the control stick to move forward, and hold it down to brake. And if you want to make decent turns, you have to press down and hold the L and R buttons for left and right turns respectively. I really feel like the controls could have been a lot more simple and easy to get the hang of. Not to say you can't get the hang of what we got, but it's kind of a mess. Even when I first played this game when I was younger, I thought something was off, but I still made the best of it. Now if there's one thing about Sonic R that really amazed me, and still amazes me to this day, it's the music. The soundtrack for Sonic R features a bunch of vocal tracks with beautiful melodies, with the ability to set the mood for each location. And if for some reason you hate the singing, or if you want to do a bit of Sonic R karaoke, you can turn the vocals off in the options menu.
I personally have enjoyed it from the moment I first heard them. I'll never forget being introduced to the energy-inducing theme of Supersonic Racing, which by the way was thanks to its inclusion in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Thank you, Mr. Sakurai.
Alright, let's really get into this and do Grand Prix mode. So to start, you begin the game with 4 selectable characters: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. Each of them have their own stats and abilities that can either be an advantage or disadvantage in your typical race. That usually depends on what racetrack you're on though. Sonic has high speed, go figure, and can do a double jump. Tails has the power to fly and has better handling than others. Knuckles can glide, and Amy drives a car.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend her.
She does have a few things going if you decide to choose her. She could do speed boost with a push of the A button, which can sometimes be helpful, but that also has a cooldown period. She can also drive over water, whereas other characters would just sink. Personally, I'd recommend Tails for his great handling and flying. Playing as him, I was able to pretty much breeze through every course. Well, it's actually pretty easy to breeze through all these courses because they're designed a bit poorly. For one, they feel way too open. It's like if you took any of the open world levels from Super Mario 64 and put it in a Mario Kart game. And while there is a set path indicated by the map screen, no one's gonna follow that because there's so many corners that you could cut and you could pretty much leave all the players in the dust within the first lap. Another thing I find annoying about the tracks is they're very confusing at some points. I swear there were times where I found myself going backwards because the track wasn't given clear directions. So in Grand Prix, you can pick between 4 tracks with a 5th unlockable one. All of the tracks are unique in their own ways, both in setting and the songs that they play. You race against 4 other players and each race is 3 laps.
I mean, when is a racing game not 3 laps? Well, come to think of it, you never see a 3-lap race in real life. You always see 100 laps, 200 laps, Daytona 500 laps. I mean, obviously they would have that much. I mean, why would anyone pay a fee to watch pretty much 5 minutes worth of racing?
So in each level, there are rings and power-ups scattered about. Also, there are tokens and Chaos Emeralds that you can collect to unlock the hidden characters. There are 5 tokens at each level, and you must collect them all in one go and finish in at least 3rd place. And then you'll have to beat whoever you're trying to get to ultimately unlock them. If you lose, however, you'll have to recollect the 5 tokens to try again. As for the Chaos Emeralds, there are 7 in total.
If you're familiar with the Sonic series, you should already know that.
Each level has 2, except for Resort Island, which has 1. And the final level, which is totally not Rainbow Road, doesn't have any. To get them, you must collect enough rings, usually 50 of them, and use them to open up these ring doors. Once you get the Chaos Emeralds, you have to finish in 1st place, otherwise it will tease you and say you didn't get it. So who are these unlockable characters? Let's go over them. To start, you got Dr. Eggman, who uses his Eggmobile to float over everything, and can also shoot a missile to slow opponents down. Metal Sonic almost functions exactly like regular Sonic, but he can't spin dash or double jump, and instead has one high jump. He sucks. Egg Robo basically works like Dr. Eggman, but unlike him, he can't float over water for very long. He also sucks.
Wow, these guys really aren't worth unlocking.
And then there's Metal Knuckles, basically a faster version of Knuckles. He's actually pretty good and I enjoy using him. Then we have what could have been Metal Tails, but instead it's Tails Doll.
And no, I am not doing that whole song and dance about Tails Doll being creepy and whatnot, so just chill, guys. Just chill.
He's nothing special. He has the ability to hover high and hover over water. That's it, though. Sucky with a capital S. And finally, Supersonic, who is unlocked by getting all of the Chaos Emeralds.
And if you're familiar with the Sonic series, you should know that too.
All you need to know about him is he's pretty much broken. He has the same abilities as regular Sonic, but is much faster and can fly over water. If you pick him, it's pretty much a guaranteed victory. Here's another cool thing about Supersonic. If you select him and go to Radiant Emerald, which again is totally not Rainbow Road, Supersonic Racing will play instead of its default song, Diamond in the Sky. Honestly, they should have made the option to play it on every track. But yeah, there's not much else to say about Sonic R. There is Time Attack mode, which includes things like time trials, reverse time trials, collecting balloons, and tagging other racers. The balloon game encourages you to explore the open world of each track, as they are scattered all over the place. And there's only 5 of them, which actually makes it more challenging. Which, by the way, what is this game's obsession with the number 5? 5 tracks, 5 people racing, 5 tokens, 5 balloons. The obsession even carries over to the letter R. I mean, all the tracks start with the letter R. Resort, Radical, Regal, Reactive, Radiant. They really drove that letter down to the ground, didn't they? Well, nothing too major, just something I noticed. So there you guys have it. If you're wanting a wonderful racing game experience, I wouldn't recommend this as the go-to choice. That would be Mario Kart. But this isn't super terrible either. That is, if you can excuse the weird controls. I'm sure you can all find some enjoyability out of this. And hey, there's multiplayer as well. I actually used to play this game with one of my cousins and we had a nice time with it. Overall, Sonic R is decent at best and mediocre at worst.
Trust me, there are better Sonic games and there are most definitely worse Sonic games. Once again, I wish you guys a very happy Valentine's Day and a happy Sonic movie day. Go see that movie. But do not spoil it in the comments because I haven't seen it as of this video being uploaded. And until next time, this is Beneficial Gamer, signing off.